Today we're here with Jack Newman, and he's the Director of Outreach and Development at the New York Film Academy. Thanks so much for joining us, Jack.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Can you give me a brief introduction, a brief overview of the New York Film Academy?
Sure. The New York Film Academy is the largest independent film and acting school in the world. We have campuses in Los Angeles at Universal Studios, where we are the only film school in the world based on a film lot. Students shoot on the back lot and use the prop sets and costumes there. Also in New York year-round, Abu Dhabi, and also Brisbane, Australia. In addition, we do summer camps at Harvard University, at Disney Studios in Florida, in Paris, and in Florence, and in Lugano. Mumbai, Lagos, Abuja, Seoul, Tokyo, Beijing, Shanghai. So we're pretty much a global organization. So when people say, well, what about New York Film Academy? I don't think they understand that with that name as a global organization. We were founded in 1992 at the Tribeca Film Center and quickly outgrew that space and have grown into offering not just high school summer camps for students 14 to 17, but bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, gap year programs, and short introductory workshops.
Could you tell us a bit more about the gap year programs? What's that all about?
Sure. We have 8-month programs that run 5 times each year. These are in all areas of the arts, from filmmaking, acting for film, musical theater, broadcast journalism, photography, you name it. We probably have a program for it. And students are there to pretty much, it's the first year of our bachelor's programs. It's the first year of our longer programs. Some of those students actually stay and complete a degree. Others will transfer credit to university.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit more about the student body? How diverse is it?
Sure, sure. We have approximately 6,500 students globally at any given time, and in that, in the U.S., about 45 to 50% are international students, representing in the U.S. over 85 countries. We've had students from Iraq. Our first student from Iraq, I should say. So we're thrilled with the diversity. It's most of our students in the degree programs and our gap year programs are 18 to 24. We do have our master's programs, so they're older in that range, but we do not discriminate on the basis of age. What's fascinating about the diversity is the way in which these students tell their stories. We have an Egyptian graduate who last year shot a film that only this year he submitted in Egypt, and it's playing like gangbusters because it was about change, and he was afraid to release it because he was afraid he might be arrested for releasing it. Well, his film, he was the director, but his cinematographer was Brazilian, and his performers, one of the performers is a star in Egypt. So there are people doing some really incredible work.
When you're admitting students to the Academy, what are you looking in students? And would you say you look differently at international students compared to domestic students?
No, no. The criteria and what we look for are the same. We want to work with people who are passionate. Bottom line, if you don't have passion for film or photography or journalism or whatever your subject area is, we are not the school for you. Because we want to work with people who are there to work, who are there to learn, who are passionate about their subject. As I said, it's a collaborative process, and it requires that people work together. The main criteria is that for our admissions to our gap year and our bachelor's programs, a student has to be a high school graduate. It's the same in the U.S. as it is here. We do have financial aid, both for international students and for U.S. Students as well. So the criteria, exactly the same.
About financial aid, what do you as a student need to get financial aid, and how much are you able to get?
We have a grant application on our website for international students. Basically, they would submit financial information. It's a need-based grant.
Need-based,
right.
Okay.
And they would
what signifies a need-based grant, as opposed to the opposite?
I think what It's always going to come down to the affordability of the program and, of course, housing. What we have for international students have to have upfront the full tuition and their living expenses for the time that they're a student. So taking that into consideration, it's on a sliding scale of up to $10,000 per year. What's the point I want to say? It's when you're saying who qualifies for it. I had a Turkish student who his father's a lawyer, makes a lot of money, and you would think that on the basis of his income statement he wouldn't qualify for a grant. The second part of the application process is the essay that describes the household situation and the overall financial situation. He's one of 6 kids. 4 of them are, him being the 4th, attending university, all of them in private schools. The mother doesn't work. So we can then look at the basis of that and make a determination. He received a partial grant. He did not receive the maximum. But you see how it's the criteria are going to be different for every student. If you're asking whether it's based on grades, it's not.
It's not?
And it's not based on the creative portfolio that a student would submit. It's based solely on their financial need.
Solely on financial need. All right. Thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.